Hello, thanks for joining me. My name is John Paul Williams, and I'd like to talk about how video is becoming strategic in the manufacturing and energy segments on a global basis. My responsibilities are a global practice leader for manufacturing and energy is defined as oil and gas as well as power generation. So let's take a look at how video is being embedded in key processes in these industries and how it's transforming how those processes are run. One of the key aspects in any innovation, any corporations now, is the need for innovation. And innovation can be in product and it can be in process. Often organizations look for new business models, and innovation plays a key role in discovering those new business models. One of the elements that most manufacturers wrestle with is the integration of these major elements of their business, the design, operate, and maintain elements of their business. Operate, you could substitute the word manufacturing in that often. And each of these segments of the business often collaborate within their groups, but it's quite a challenge to collaborate outside their groups. And that's one of the goals in the 21st century for organizations to integrate these levels of business as well as suppliers into these innovation events. So Manufacturing Insights has looked at this trend, and they see several key elements of this push towards quality collaboration, true collaboration. And unified collaboration or unified communications is one of the key elements, the merging of audio, voice, and data. The convergence of synchronous and asynchronous collaboration functions, especially in the design element where they might send information to another design party that's in a different time zone, so that would be asynchronous collaboration, but now they want to bring that to much more synchronous platforms. And that brings us to the third element, which is, I think, one of the most important ones, the ones I've seen in many accounts that I work with, is this idea of enterprise-wide collaboration. Again, knitting together those three elements of the business as well as suppliers into this. And what I've seen is that video is one of the true enterprise-wide collaboration platforms in the industry. You'll see, for instance, in Boeing and a few other examples in this quick case study here, that video is playing a key role in that collaboration. And then obviously, mobility is a big issue. Field view plays a critical role in bringing video, mobile video, as well as Movi into the enterprise-wide collaboration platform right now. So what are these mega video applications? Well, first we'll take a look at those, but I want to emphasize some key elements of these. One, they have great return on investments, these applications. And often companies enter into video with room systems or desktop systems, but it's very powerful to let them know that future expansion of that video network can lead to tremendous ROI. Even in the original selling event, it relieves some of the pressure on really is there a value to this investment, because they can see when they roll video out into these critical business processes that the ROI only gets more steep as time goes on. The other element is that we're seeing issues firsthand is essential. So telemedicine is one example of that, as well as when there's problem resolutions between supplier and customer, being able to see what those issues are critical. And then the other element is leveraging knowledge. So the experts can see what the problem is from a remote position and help troubleshoot and resolve those kind of issues. So the first application, as you might expect, is in product or process design, or simply if you're designing something. So project teams are often globally dispersed, so the coordination of them becomes quite difficult, and video plays an excellent role there. Compliance is a key issue, especially in pharmaceuticals, that the protocols for drug development are being followed on a global basis. Supplier integration, as we talked about. Often there's technical reviews and product development, first article inspections. These are, again, very much facilitated by video. Core competence segmentation is a big element. We'll take a look at that in a Boeing case study coming up, where they want to use the competence of suppliers to reinforce the competitive advantage of the product that they're designing. and being able to integrate on a daily basis, ad hoc basis with suppliers is a great role for video. Team peer-to-peer practices and also telework initiatives. We'll take a look at some of those in a minute. So if you're making something, is another great application for video, either a discrete or process manufacturer. Again, you can link remote design centers to the manufacturing facilities quite easily. Root cause analysis is a key role for video in the manufacturing process. Quality audits is increasingly becoming a dominant practice. Several manufacturers have design groups in the US, manufacturing in Mexico or China, and they're using video for audits. Supplier integration, again, you'll see supplier chain issues running all throughout this presentation. Technical reviews, peer-to-peer, again, best practices. And lean manufacturing implementation is a key element for video, especially in a multi-plant environment where one plant is doing quite well with lean manufacturing, or what used to be called just-in-time, and the other plants want to imitate that. It's much easier to do that over video, especially if there's an intern that's right on the factory floor. They can see exactly what the best practice plant is doing. And last is this maintenance and service, if you're servicing something. And this is one of the least thought about applications for video, but actually has one of the biggest ROIs. This idea of scaling expertise. So you have experts somewhere that can see a problem. Video can bring that problem to the experts instead of flying them around the world. Some organizations are running pilots right now with using video approval for part replacements. In the service and maintenance area of business, there's a tremendous amount of waste replacing parts that don't need to be replaced, so the principal manufacturer wants to approve these. Video makes it very easy to do that. Design for serviceability reviews are big improvements, so design engineers can actually sit at their desk, but they can actually see their product in an application somewhere else in the world and see if the design and serviceability of that piece of equipment really helps these technicians that are on site. And then the other idea we'll take a look at with Lexmark, this idea of telework initiatives that improve service level agreement performances. So if there's a large capital equipment that goes down, video can be used to actually get that equipment up and running much more quickly and then meet their service level agreement performances. So in the case of Boeing, I've worked with Boeing for a couple of years now, both on the 737 project and now the 787 project. The 787 project, this aircraft is actually built in 13 different countries and integrated in Seattle. At any one time, they have at least 9 countries on video participating in the build process in Seattle. As we can't be a key supplier to Boeing without being on their video network. The reason is they want to resolve problems instantly when they come up, and they want the supplier to already have a context for where the problem has developed and what the issues are that it's creating. Lexmark is another example. In this particular case, you can see a quote from the Director of Manufacturing Engineering where they can resolve problems now in about an hour that used to take them close to 2 weeks to solve. In the case in Lexmark, they have a new manufacturing line in China, engineers in Kentucky, and there's constant support needed for a production line in China. When I first started working with Lexmark, they had no telework initiative because obviously there's time zone changes between China and Kentucky, that the engineers are actually sitting at home watching the ball game. PC is right next to them. They know they're on call for the next 3 hours. If there's a problem in China, the video call comes right to the PC. They can see it, the issues that's going on in China, resolve those, and then it moves on to the next engineer that's on call. So Lexmark now has a telework initiative for engineers to work from home. So you can see that video is really changing how these organizations run their business now.